All right, we are back with another edition of the Urban Wire / Politic Diddo with yours truly, Michael Snyder.
Hello.
And my name is Seneca Harris, and we're just going to come to you. We haven't done a video in a while, so I just wanted to come and just talk to you guys for a little bit and just talk about what's going on in the world of politics and everything else. I know you've been hearing our shows and seeing our excerpts online from our shows, but I heard from a couple people where they said, well, we're going to do some more videos, so we're going to do this really quick, and this is going to be our third installment because we were doing our Politic Diddo volumes. So I just thought I'd come back with one today. Michael Snyder, he's in town, and yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna talk about a couple things that's been going on in the media. This is not gonna be a real long episode, but obviously, we don't really have a lot of time today. So with this being the end of the world and stuff like that, we kind of had to pencil that in.
I guess you could call this our end of the world special.
Yeah, so I had to kind of pencil that into my my scheduling book because I have a lot of other things to do today. And I think that might be the highlight of our day.
Does this mean that all the Republicans are going to be gone and the evangelicals after rapture?
Anyways, moving right on along. Well, I said, and reading up on the serious note, like what? Because I know you said you were reading up on that.
Yeah, the gist of what it is. There's, I can't remember his name. I'm wanting to say it begins with the C. There's a
crazy old
minister.
Yeah.
He's about 89, 90 years old, and somehow he said that God had bestowed to him some enlightenment or something, and that he had wrote this all down years ago and has tallied it up, and according to the instruction that God has given him, the world should end on May 21st, 2011 at 6 p.m.
And but to me, what's really sad about this is this is not the first time people have tried to predict the end of the world and the rapture and stuff like that. And clearly, with him being an evangelical Christian or like a evangelist or a preacher or whatever you want to call it, he should clearly know that the Bible states that no man knows the day or the hour.
Exactly.
So to me, for you to think that you have this infinite wisdom and that you're going against God's word, first of all, they're the main ones that are always talking about, using the Bible as the infallible word of God, this, that, and the other. But for you to be that arrogant, to think that you have some infinite wisdom when God has already spoken, in the text, the holy text, that no man knows. So it's just, to me, it goes to show you how a lot of these fanatics, they pick and choose what they want to believe out of the Bible. So this is just really on the sad note, and there's a lot of people that are taking advantage of this too. But you know what? If you're going to be that foolish and naive to fall for that, then hey, have at it.
I don't feel sorry for him either.
Yeah, I don't feel sorry for people like that are going to fall for this. It's unfortunate, but hey, what can you say?
Of course, if we're not here tomorrow, I guess joke's on us.
Oh well. All right, Michael, did you hear about conservative talk radio and how it's
on the decline, I hear?
Yes.
I wonder if anyone has speculated their reasoning as to why that is.
Well, I don't know the exact reasoning, but I know now that there's ways that that actual numbers or more accurate numbers can be detected in determining like the number of listeners that actually tune into conservative talk radio, and I think a lot of it has to do with the times that we're currently in. And a lot of times, I think in the past, like they've kind of held on to these false numbers, and they've kind of like always held it over people's heads. But now that it's being proven that it's not true, and then a lot of these stations, like a lot of talk radio stations, they're starting to move away from that that genre. I don't know what you would call it, or that format.
Right.
You know, because they're just seeing a lot of people aren't listening to that anymore. You know, and it's one thing to be conservative, but when you're like a radical conservative, you know.
Well, I think on a lot of those talk radio shows, like for example Rush Limbaugh, do people actually listen to him?
I don't think they are.
Yeah, I could see where that would be declining.
Yeah,
because a lot.
And he was one of them on the list too that's not doing so well now. You know.
Hell, you know.
You know, and because you know, I guess which one was that the one that just got kicked off the Fox? Glenn Beck. Yeah, they said that his radio show, like if he's on conservative radio too, they said his ratings aren't doing too well on that either. So you know, he's losing a lot of listeners. Like in New York, that's like the big market. You know, he's losing a lot of his followers there, and you know, it's just really, you know, good to see that people are actually starting to wake up, and they're actually, you know, not. And that's why I said people like that. The best way to get rid of them is just stop listening, ignore them, because if you don't have the listeners, you don't have the followers, then you're pretty much talking to yourself.
Right.
So that's the best way you can do. That's how you can just fight back. Is just stop listening, you know. So I don't know. I just wanted to throw that in. And also, speaking of that, have you heard about the Republicans as far as like who's going to be like running for president?
I have heard that last I knew Mitch Daniels was still undecided.
Yes.
I know Trump finally said he's out. Evidently, the Apprentice show must be doing pretty good, I guess.
And then on top of that, I just think that whole, I think Obama just shut him down. Like,
yeah.
Mike
Huckabee's out. Really? He's not going to go.
But you know, I've heard that they're not really impressed with any of the candidates. You know, they're not pleased with any of them. And of course, Sarah Palin, they all know that she's almost like the mascot for the Republican Party. You know, it's just. Yeah.
I could say more on that, but I'm going to let it go.
Yeah, we're going to let that go. I don't want to get in too much trouble. We are going to have some people that are pissed off. But like I always say, build a bridge and get over it.
Or get your own talk radio show.
Okay? All right. So, here's something that I don't even know how to... Did you hear about Bin Laden and how he's a freak?
Well, I kind of assumed that, but I hear there's
okay.
more.
Let me put that in more. Like, well, you can't get any more layman's than that. But like, he had like tons of internet porn.
Oh, really?
On his computers and like stuff that they confiscated from him. And they say he has a huge thing for Whitney Houston. Now I want to know, was that before the crack or after the crack? Because I mean, you know,
he got a lot of time on his hands, didn't he?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
But my thing is like, you have like all these women around you and wives and things like that. Why would you need porn? Is it just one of those, never mind, I'm not going to do it.
I guess sooner or later it all gets old.
Yeah, you're right. He got tired of that old, going up in that old dried up. He was ready to take that matters into his own hands, pretty much.
I want to know what kind of porn it was. Now, by that, and before y'all go there and go, really? I'm just wanting to know, is it gay porn or straight porn? That's what I want to know. I'm just curious. I mean, all the rest of you know, y'all know you're wondering the same thing. Now, come on. All of you sitting there going, oh, now that he mentions it, you know, I kind of wonder.
Well, you know how that mentality is. You know, a lot of them, you know, like you said, women are for procreating, and men
Women
are
are
for
for
fun.
babies, boys are for fun, women are for babies.
Yeah.
I've heard that. I don't know if it's
I
true.
don't know.
And please, if anyone happens to have an idea on that, let us know. What's something we've heard? We don't know
Somebody
if it's true.
tell me, because I want to know. Like, somebody really tell me. I need y'all to answer the question.
And by no means is that meant to be a slam against anyone of that faith, but, we don't know, so we're asking.
But that goes to show you, man, he was a joke. Because, I mean, if you were so, like, so radical, and like in Islam, the Islam faith, why are you watching porn?
I kind of thought it was, isn't that like against their religion?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you so, I don't know, they're so...
Meanwhile, the Sheikh of Islam has Local Lizard on his PC. All right.
All right. Well, I guess somebody's going to auction that porn off, and I mean, I don't know what's going to happen to that PC. I guess you can put it on eBay and try to, auction that off.
That'll be buried in a CIA archive, never to see the light of day again.
Yeah, you're right.
That thing won't turn up until after the rapture.
Well, which will be 6 o'clock today, don't forget.
Yeah, set your clock.
All right. What else we're going to talk about here? Did you hear about about the journalist for CNN, Don Lemons? Not Don Lemons. Oh my gosh, Don Lemons. You haven't heard, girl? You haven't heard about Miss Lemons?
No, I haven't heard.
Well, on a serious note, he's been a correspondent on news correspondent on CNN for a number of years, and he has a book out that pretty much documents his life, and the book is entitled Transparent. And all jokes aside, like it's very respectable move that he's made for the entertainment industry, particularly in the African American community, because a lot of people, we don't really have a lot of entertainers that are out and open, with who they really are, and it's really commendable that he's putting his life story out there to help other people to come out. Now they said like he was out to his family and the people at CNN, but he never put that out in public that he was a gay man, and he's very respected in his field, like a very respected and well-known commentator on CNN, and it was just really a brave move for him to come out, because news like that can sometimes, it can either help you or it can hurt you. And with him being a professional journalist, you just have to play it out by ear. But he says like that he has the support of the CNN, like they're backing him up and stuff like that. So that's good that he's getting that support from them. And on top of that, like I guess it was out too that he had a relationship with another employee there that worked at CNN. Now nobody knows who it is. Nobody's putting that out there.
Anderson Cooper? I'm just dying to ask.
I don't know. I'm just not touching that. I'm not touching that. But yes, they said that there's a little love interest that's going on there. But it's one of those things. And you know what? And I did not know. Like if you go look him up, he looks pretty good to be in his mid-40s. Right. But it's kind of sad that he's kind of hidden that until like this point in life. But I guess he really wasn't in the closet anyway.
I guess even though you look at it from the public eye, the public eye has changed a lot here in just the last 5 years. And I think from a public perspective, probably now has felt like the best time for him. Especially being a journalist and covering all the news medias of the teen suicides and things like that.
There you go. And that's what that's another thing I want to bring up too, because he wanted to do that to help out or kind of come out and speak against, you know, he's also doing this to help other people to come out.
Right.
And that was one of the main reasons why he wanted to come out. That was his motivation of putting it out there, because he struggled with divulging that information in his book, because there was a chapter about that, and he struggled with that for a while, you know, to keep that information. He didn't know if he wanted to keep that out of the book or put it in the book, but he said the main motivation for him putting that in the book and you know, divulging that information to the public is because of that incident that happened, you know. So I really want to commend him for that, because that takes a lot of courage, because we know, you know, and like I said, I've done interviews before where people have told me, you know, in the entertainment industry, there's a lot of people that the gays are pretty much, not the gays, but the LGBT community is very prevalent in Hollywood. I mean, there's a lot of gay directors, a lot of gay actors, entertainers. I mean, you know, but there are a lot of them, they have to keep that stuff under wraps, you know, especially when you're dealing with black entertainers or even like minorities in general, because like they don't really take you serious once they find that information about you, because they have this set stereotype that they want you to play out in movies, and once that information is out there about you, a lot of people don't take you seriously like when you play certain roles. So it's a lot of things, even in Hollywood. You think that it's an open scene, and you know, everybody's, you know, pretty liberal, but in many ways it's not liberal. A lot of people hide in the shadows, and they have to, not only do they have to be something that or play something that they, you know, they're not on screen, but they have to kind of play something they're not in their personal lives too. So.
And me personally, you know, I would have to look at that and say, oh, okay, I understand why, but then eventually when they do come on out, I don't know, it seems like it gives their credibility greater standing. Mm-hmm. Because it's like, okay, now I see you got the courage to do this. It makes what you're saying a little bit more believable to me.
Right.
But I don't know how many other people look at it like that. But.
So, I mean, that was just something that I just wanted to throw in the mix. And there's also one more thing that I wanted to bring up before we close out. I'm pretty sure by now I'm pretty sure everyone has heard about the devastating storms or tornadoes that kind of swept through the southeast, and that kind of took a toll. Like, I mean, it just wiped out like states like Alabama and you know,
some
Georgia. I mean, it just came through and just, I mean, some of these people have nothing, and they'll never be able to recover from the damage that these storms have, or the toll that they've taken over that area. You know, it's just really sad, and I just urge people to donate to reputable like charities like Red Cross and stuff like that. And you know, like as always, you know, you got to kind of be careful, especially during times like that, because there's always people that are trying to take advantage of situations like that.
Exactly.
Just make sure any charity that you donate to, make sure it's a reputable charity or organization, you know, and just make sure you know where your money's going to, you know. So I mean, I just urge people, you know, we're so quick to help out other people, you know, during tragedies. You know, we should help out our own. Like,
the Red Cross does have its own website that you can go out and search for a local office that you can actually go to in person. So that way you have a little bit better idea of where your money is going there as well.
Right. Well, I think that's about it. Did you have any announcements that you would like to make before we go?
No, not that I can really think of. Not yet.
Okay. Well, just make sure you tune in to the Urban Wire on our Blog Talk Radio show. We have it weekly or bi-weekly, just depends on the schedule. You know, most of the time we have them on Mondays and Thursdays, but join our Facebook page under the Urban Coalition of Freelance Writers, and you'll get frequent updates on when we're going to have our scheduled shows. We're on Twitter too, so that's a good way to keep in contact at twitter.com/UCOFW. Subscribe. Spread the videos, spread the word. You know, we're trying to do some big things in 2011. We're just trying to get a positive message out. And I really want to give a shout out to, there's a couple people that came up to me last night. I was out and about, and they kind of told me that they've been listening to the show and stuff like that. So I really want, you know who you are. So I want to appreciate you for listening and tuning in to us. So, you know, just listen in. If you have any show topics, show ideas, let us know. They gave me a couple of good topics, like predatory lending and a lot of things dealing with child support, which I'm going to try to set up an interview with this lady. I'm not going to put too much out there, but it's a lady that I heard on the radio, and I think she'll be a good source to talk about child support, because I think there's a lot of issues dealing with child support, and it's always assumed that the fathers are the deadbeats, but there are also situations where the women kind of try to set up. It's just a big mess, you know. So we're going to have that coming up soon. Just be on the lookout. We're going to have a show this coming Monday. Hopefully I can get this up so this will be relevant. But just tune in to our Monday show. We're going to have our entertainment beat with Miss Deandra. And that's all I have to say. So hopefully we'll see you guys.
Thanks for checking us out.
Yeah. Assuming that the world is not going to end tonight. All right. See you.